Good afternoon. This is Lance Dixon with Curriculum and Training Systems, and we'd like to welcome you back as we share with you more information on foundational principles of learning. Last week, we spoke with you about David Cole's learning styles, 4 basic learning styles. There is concrete, learning by doing. The person that actually jumps into it, starts putting the bike together, doesn't read any instruction. He actually starts doing things. Then there's active, learning by being involved, or once trying to be involved in the situation, joining the group, that type of person. Then there's abstract, the person that reads the book, learns the theories, digests the theories, want to mentally understand what's going on. And then there's reflecting or reflective, which is the person that observes, stands back and watch what's going on, thinks about it, observe it again, reflect on it, and then come to its conclusion. 4 specific learning styles. We also spoke about how we all have a primary learning style, but we also incorporate other learning styles, and when we incorporate more than one learning style, we retain more information. Now this week, I want to share with you a little bit about an important aspect to learning, and that is effective communication. Effective communication. Without effective communication, learning will be hindered. So let's break this down and talk about the basic communication model. The basic communication model consists of 4 parts. There is a sender, a person who wants to share information, impart knowledge with someone else. The person is the sender. Then there's a receiver, the person who actually is receiving that information. Then there is the actual message itself, and the 4th component is feedback. Now let's talk a little bit, let me give you a little bit of an example. I am the sender. I want to share some information. I want to impart some knowledge to an individual, maybe a classroom. Doesn't matter. I am the sender. Now, I have a message, whatever the knowledge is. If it's a classroom, I got a lesson plan, I've got things that I want to share with my class. So, I share the information, I speak it, and share it with the class, and the class is the receiver. They receive the information. Now that 4th component of that communication model is the feedback. Now, as an individual, that feedback could be a person sharing or sending me a different message, which will make me or ensure me that they understood my original message. If it's a class, that feedback could be a variety of different ways, raising their hands if they understand, or if they're asking questions. I get feedback from a class that they understood the message. Now what happens is, when feedback is not included in that model, we have misunderstandings. Individual misunderstandings when you have a conversation, you say something or you ask someone to perform a task. They think they understand, but they don't send you feedback. They do what they think they heard, and it's not what you expected. Misunderstanding. So, effective communication consists of a 4-part model. Now, the issue with that feedback is something that we all need to do, but in many cases we don't. And that's listening. Listening is an active process. You have to be engaged in the listening. if I am sharing information with you and you're thinking about something else, you're not engaged, so you're not going to receive that message or that information that I sent to you. Also, you have to be ready to respond, to share feedback, letting the sender know that you understood. The messaging, the communication is a two-way process. So as the sender sends a message, the receiver receives it and then responds and sends a message, and the sender becomes a receiver and receives the other message. It's a two-way process, but that's what makes it effective. The key is listening. If the person is not listening, they're not going to receive the information. Well, that's all I have for this week. If anything I said was helpful in any way, please share this message with your friends, your peers, or anyone you think that this would be beneficial to. On the bottom of this page, you'll find links to curriculum and training systems, some of the services we offer, and some of the products we provide. Thank you again, and we'll see you next week.